Pepper lime potatoes. This recipe is an adaptation from Chef John from foodwishes.com. I'll leave a link to his original video in the description below, but these taste delicious. Let me show you how I made them. Start by peeling your potatoes. Put your potato in cold water. Take your potato and you're going to cut off the edges on both sides. This is just so it can lay flat. You then want to cut it in the middle, and you're going to want to make it roughly the same size. And when you're done, you're going to take your two potatoes and you're going to put them back in the cold water. The 4 potatoes that we picked, you're going to want to try to make them all roughly the same size. This is just so they cook evenly all together. So just going to repeat the process until we have all our potatoes cut in half, and make sure you do put them in cold water so they don't go brown while you're doing this. Unlike a side chick, your wife will love the side potatoes. Use these in an air fryer and make some chips. Take your potatoes out of the water and put them on some paper towel. You're going to want to dry the potatoes as much as you can. You want to get rid of all of the water out of them. So you're going to add ground pepper on top of your potatoes. You can be extremely generous when seasoning them. You're going to want to also make sure your potato is the nicer side up, because this is the side that eventually is going to be for display. It'll make more sense eventually. Then you're going to add kosher salt on it and be extremely generous. That's the only way you can really mess up this recipe, is by not adding enough salt. So you want to make sure they're nice and salted. So we got salt, we got pepper, and there's one last ingredient to go for seasoning, which is cayenne pepper. So put some of that on and you're ready to continue. Add half a cup of olive oil to a baking dish and put them face down. So you're going to want to season them just like before with salt, pepper, and cayenne. And be generous. Put them in your oven at 400 for 20 minutes. Put 1 cup of chicken stock, 1 tablespoon of lime juice. Make sure you mix. I don't know if you need this step, but we're going to do it anyway. So it's been 20 minutes. They come into the oven. Now you're going to want to carefully flip them, and they do look good. Just a note, we did dump out some of the oil that was in there because we had way too much. We didn't have enough potatoes for the oil because the dish we used didn't support all the potatoes. Hence why we have a small one over here and another small one over there. So our oil to potato ratio was slightly off. Anyway, now we're going to take the mixture we just made, our lime chicken broth, and we're going to basically just pour it on top. So pouring. We're going to first put more pepper on it because it will add some extra flavor. And then we're going to put this back in the oven at 400 for 15 minutes. Remember those side potatoes we had earlier? Well, now they're chips. Basically put salt, pepper on them with a little bit of cayenne and put it in the air fryer for 10 minutes on each side, and now we have a crunchy chip. Listen. It has been 15 minutes. It is time to flip our potatoes, and be extremely careful, even more careful than last time. That liquid is extremely hot, and you don't want it splashing all over you. And after you flip them, this is when the magic is going to happen. So now we're going to put it in the oven until the liquid disappears. And you're not going to drain it. It's literally going to absorb into the potato itself. And I will update you with the time it took my potatoes to absorb in when I managed to take them out. And again, you keep it at 400. You don't change the temperature. We'll be back when all of this is absorbed. So, in theory, all the liquid was supposed to disappear and evaporate into our potatoes. I left it in there for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. and you can see most of it evaporated, but again, I think that's due to our imbalancing with our other potatoes in the little mini pans. So anyway, this is our potato. It is done. There's one thing left to do. We have to give it a taste. I have all the potatoes we did over here, and these are the side potatoes that were in their own little dish, and they are supposed to come out a little bit darker from what I understand. So this recipe was an adaptation of the one that Chef John did. Chef John from foodwishes.com. But instead of lemon, we use lime. So let's give one of the lighter ones a taste and then one of the darker ones, and let's see how it is. So, wow. Okay, the fork just glides right through. Amazing. And you might be able to pick it up. There's a hard shell and the inside's really soft. You can see the steam coming out. So, here we go. I'm gonna burn myself, maybe. Wow. Okay, so it is very limey, but it tastes as it should. But you get a really good mixture of the pepper and the lime in the bite, and it is super, super soft. But with like the outside being a little bit harder. So it tastes really good. I'm like absolutely impressed with the recipe. This one, wow, okay, look at this one. It's harder. And the inside is still soft. So this is how it should be. It should have that crispy outside with the soft inside. It should be a little bit darker. So let's give this one a try because it has different texture. So you might want to leave it a little longer, have less broth versus potatoes. Our mixture was slightly off, but nonetheless we got the same effect. So let's try this. And I was talking so it cools down a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. So that one is definitely more flavorful. I really got a good flavor of the bite. Like when I bit into that, there was a really awesome flavor. It's like, again, super moist, but the outside is crunchy, so the texture is different. But the inside, it holds the juices more. So if you notice, when we pull it out, it did absorb a lot of the juice. Again, just not all of it like it should have, but nonetheless, wow, this came out really good. So I'm going to give it to Chef John. This was a good recipe. I'm glad I did it, and I have a whole bunch of potatoes here to go and eat. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. I gotta say, considering I use lime instead of lemon, and that was just personal preference, I'm really impressed. I think the lemon might actually come out better. But nonetheless, this is really, really good. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time for more food videos. See you later.